derive great bliss and satisfaction by always enlightening one another and conversing about me. So that's really the purpose of Krishna Cove, is to discuss topics of Krishna, which are very rare, extremely rare in this world. And we're here because of Srila Prabhupada and his extreme endeavor to bring Krishna consciousness to us. We actually come from a place outside of what we would consider civilized life, because ultimately knowledge comes from God, and the most ancient knowledge in existence comes from the Vedas. And all knowledge that we have is derivations from the original knowledge, or maybe lack of knowledge. And so Prabhupada kindly came. Traditionally, Krishna just kind of allows us to do what we want to do in this world. But the devotees extend the mercy of Krishna to us. And we're really grateful to Srila Prabhupada for that. So thank you for keeping the Sangha going. And hopefully we can derive great bliss and satisfaction. Always discussing Krishna in this association. So how is everybody's Kartik going? Started Kartik a few days ago. Everybody here is a devotee, so everybody knows about Kartik, right? Okay. How's your Kartik going, Pradumna? Yeah. Are you chanting the Damodar Astakam every day? Yeah. Okay. What's your favorite verse? Okay. The first one. Okay. Can you recite it by heart? Hare Krishna. Good night. Hare Krishna. Good night. I think my favorite is the cheeks of your blackish lotus face, which are encircled by locks of curling hair, become reddened like bimba fruit due to Mother Yashoda's kisses. What more can I describe than this? Millions of opulences of no use to me. May this vision constantly appear in my mind.
Mine is, oh Vishnu, oh unlimited Vishnu.
Oh Master, Lord, be pleased upon me.
Yeah, I'm like a dead man.
I'm drowning in the ocean of sorrow and I'm almost like a dead man.
Yeah, that's right.
Please shower the rain of mercy on me and lift me and protect me with your nectarian vision. So what's yours, Gauranga Prema?
Part of the part where it's talking about Krishna crying, weeping because of being fearful.
Oh, his eyes are moving and his breathing is quick. Pearl necklace shook.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about the topic of this class is seeking the essence for true spiritual fulfillment. And another subtopic is keeping the main thing. Because we can think, we were talking about again how we're outside the Vedic civilization, but we're eternal souls. So we're considered nitya bhada because we're in this world condition. Unless we're an avatar, Shakti-based avatar, pure devotee, descending from the spiritual world, which is possible. Not for me, some of you. But otherwise, we're nitya bhada, we're eternally in this world. And this is actually not the first time we've turned to God. We perpetually turn to God through our existence in this world for different reasons. So we had, depending on the influence of the modes of nature, our own desires, sometimes we turn to God, and sometimes we completely ignore God. So in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that those who are envious, grossly foolish, knowledge has been stolen by illusion, particularly the atheistic nature demons, they never surrender to me. So sometimes we're in a deep ignorant state as eternal souls. So then we're ignoring God. And then other times we're turning to God for help. So we're suffering. That's probably the main reason people turn to God in Kali Yuga is suffering. Is that why you came to God, Chris? Why did you come?
I think I was interested in where beauty comes from, where the ideas of artists come from.
Yeah, that's another reason Krishna says those who are inquisitive, who are curious about the beauty of the world and all the intricacies and secrets of the creation and beyond, to the inquisitive. So these are some reasons Krishna says that we turn to God. So we're suffering, we're seeking some benefit from material wealth from God. Is another reason. Or if we're inquisitive, we're just curious. But Krishna says those who are in full in knowledge. So he says, Bahunam jamanamante gyanavan mam prapadyante vasudevam saramiti sadmahatmasudurva. When we come to full knowledge, and at that point we surrender to Krishna. So in Lord Chaitanya, he mirrored this by speaking in terms of the Bhakti Lata Bij, Brahmanda Brahmite Konya Bhagyavan Jeev. Bhagyavan means we become full in good fortune. So Brahmanda, do you all know what a Brahmanda is?
Universe.
Yes. So it's described with the breath of Mahavishnu, who's lying in the corner of the spiritual sky. Millions of Brahmandas are coming from the body of Vishnu with his exhalation. And so in the dormant state, we're also within the body of Mahavishnu. And then when he breathes, the universes expand, and then the living entities, through the empowerment of Lord Brahma, are then created, and we begin our activities. So this is just one Brahmanda. So it's described that the Brahmanda has like 14 different planetary systems, and it's covered, it's like an egg shaped, and it's covered by different layers of material energy. This is described in the Bhagavatam, right? So we're in one of these Brahmandas. And supposedly we're in a smaller Brahmanda. There's much bigger universes in this. And so Lord Chaitanya says, Brahmanda Brahmite Konya Bhagyavanji. As we're wandering in this Brahmanda, due to great fortune, the seed of Krishna Bhakti is planted in our heart. So the piousness makes us receptive to spiritual life. But it doesn't mean automatically that we associate with the devotee, the pure devotee. That's another important topic of what association with the pure devotee means. Prabhupada gives the example as like the king sitting on the throne, and then there's an insect sitting next to it. So is the insect having any sort of meaningful exchange with the king? But he's right, he might actually be sitting on his leg or on his shoulder or something, but he's not having any meaningful exchange. So associating with a pure devotee is the most powerful experience in existence. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra, all the Shastras say, Lava Matra, one tiny moment, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy, we can attain all perfection. But that association with the devotee isn't something just superficial. Sri Jivananda Prabhu say, like you're joining a country club. You know, it could remain something superficial. So the Bhakti Lata Bij is something where it's implanted in our heart. We have some experience with a pure devotee. Like Srila Prabhupada is representative. We have some powerful experience. And that love for Krishna is transferred in a seedling form from that other lover of Krishna within our heart. And we have the receptivity of that. And we really have that change of heart. You know, like Prabhupada said, it takes one moment. It's a lava matra. But again, it's not just passing by a pure devotee or thinking, if I accept this devotee as my guru, then I'll be accepted in the society. I'll get a special name. I'll have special benefits. You know, so there's actually a change of our heart. So this transformation of our heart sets the trajectory for our life in Krishna consciousness. And so whatever reason we came here, I mean, there's some scriptures that say if you were here, if you're in the path of Krishna consciousness, the highest path, Krishna says, I am the goal. He says, but by all the Vedas, I am to be known. He says, I'm the goal of religion. Abandon all religion. And the highest religion is to surrender unto me. So somehow, whatever reason we came, whether it's from past pious activities or it's just the causeless mercy of the devotee, we're here. We're here now. And if we came in a genuine fashion, with a real sincerity, and we really had a change of heart, and we decided to accept a guru who is also a lover of God, that's when the Bhakti Lata Bij was really deeply planted. And then we've had all good fortune bestowed on us at that point. We became full of good fortune. And when we sit in that ceremony and we throw the grains in the fire, we make vows, again, from our heart, not something superficially, sincerely, wanting to be a lover of God. Because all these other exchanges, like Krishna is saying, even the pious persons, how are we interacting with God? It's mostly just transactional. We're just having it, that's what we've been doing even when we're following the Vedas, even when we're worshiping different devas, we're doing the rituals, we're chanting the mantras, we're doing the austerities and the penances. It's a transaction with God. We're transactional. So all of a sudden, we come in contact with somebody that they don't want anything from Krishna. They simply want to be a lover of God. They simply want to love and serve God. It's extremely rare in this world. Why is it rare? Because those who want to be a lover of God, they don't stay in this world. They go to the spiritual world. So then the ones that are here, they're pure devotees, they're here just to distribute mercy. You see, like the great saints that are simply suffering on behalf of God, distribute mercy. They feel that suffering is a great pleasure. So the trajectory, once we accept the spiritual master, once we accept the pure devotee, all of a sudden the trajectory of our lives is set in motion. At that point, we're on the path back to Godhead. The path of sense enjoyment in this world, turning away from God, even transacting with God, meeting with good and evil amongst various species of life. That is ending. And now we're on the path to being a pure lover of God and getting out of this place. After attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never again come to this material world because they've attained the highest perfection. So we're on that path. So there's a beautiful example of getting on the boat. Like Prabhupada on the Jaladuta. They say Prabhupada is the captain of the Jaladuta. Jala means water, and Duta, I don't know what that means, but maybe
A vehicle.
a vehicle on the water. Okay, Jaladuta. Okay. So Prabhupada he's the captain of the Jaladuta, and now we've gotten on the ship, and so when we're there, we have to be careful not to bring with us our old habits. So that's why keeping the main thing. Right? Why did we come to spiritual life? So okay, before spiritual life, we wanted wealth. Okay, and then when we come into the association of devotees, and we start looking around and thinking, oh, I'm in a nice community of devotees. Maybe I can get some money here. Maybe I can. They all have money. Maybe I can.
You must be talking about somebody.
Some rare devotees. But I'm in a community of people and there's money here. Maybe I can. So, followers. Before we were trying to make a name for ourselves in the world. Maybe we were trying to be a great basketball player. And we wanted to have our our own card. We wanted to be star player in the All-Star game. And then we come to Krishna consciousness and we think, wow, I can sit on this high seat. It seems like this Vyasa-san, every time I come, it gets higher. I don't know, I'm glad because my knees hurt, so it helps with my knees. But well, wow, I can be a superhero again. I can get a lot of followers. Right? I can't get followers in basketball. I injured my legs, but I can get other followers in the devotional community. And sense enjoyment. I want a beautiful woman or a handsome man. Oh wow, look at this. So many beautiful people in this community. Maybe I can exploit some of that. So that's why Lord Chaitanya says, Nandanam Najanamna Sundarim Kavitam Vajagari Shakami Mamam Jamani Jamani Svay Bhavata Bhaktiyo Huitikitvayi. He says, I have no desire for wealth, followers, or women. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. So he's teaching us this. Why did we come? Okay, so we came to Krishna consciousness for the right reason. And we had a change of heart. We met His Grace Jivananda Prabhu or some other wonderful devotee. And we had a change of heart. He told us about this divine treasure. Then somewhere or other, we're on the Jaladuta. And somehow or other, we get distracted and we start looking at little fishies jumping off on the side. And so we see so many examples of, especially from Lord Chaitanya's pastimes, but Lord Krishna's pastimes, and they have different avatars. But for instance, let's give you some examples of where the Lord's heart is at. Have you all heard the phrase Saragrahi? Saragrahi. You familiar? So Sara means the essence. And Grahi means somebody who takes the essence. So Saragrahi is actually another identifier for a devotee. Someone who takes the essence of something. And Krishna is known as Bhavagrahi. You heard this name, Krishna? Bhava is love. It's our feeling, a devotional feeling. Bhavagrahi means Krishna takes our love. Bhavagrahi. So we become Saragrahi, seekers of the essence. Because that's what Krishna is looking for, is the essence. Krishna is looking to take the essence. And Krishna showed this again and again in his pastimes, again and again in Lord Chaitanya's pastimes, to exemplify this verse, Nadanamna Janamna Sundarim Kavitam Vajara Isakamani. I have no desire for these other things. I haven't come for the same reason I've been approaching God, birth after birth after birth, traversing up and down in the different planetary systems. Now, I see, through the mercy of the devotee of Krishna, the lover of God, that you are the real jewel. Krishna is the real jewel. Love for Krishna is the real jewel. And so, like Lord Chaitanya with Sridhar, when he was a scholar in Navadvip, he was a youth, he would make different excuses to go see his friend Sridhar. Now Sridhar just lived in a little corner of Navadvip, and he had a little booth and a little thatched hut. And his thatched hut didn't have any ceiling, didn't have any roof, it was all broken in. And for a living, he just made cups from banana leaves. So Lord Chaitanya, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the source of all opulences, the source of all beauty, the source of bliss and happiness, and the reservoir of all love, this beautiful, most beautiful person, he would make any excuse to go and see Kulavecha Sridhar. And he would sit with him for hours, just joking with him and teasing him. And he'd say, "What are you going to give me today?" But he said, I don't know, I have basically nothing. If you take from me, I can barely survive. But he wanted to give to him anyway, so they would joke like this. But Lord Chaitanya said, you are cheating me. I really know you are the most wealthy. You're the most wealthy person. And one day this will be, you will reveal this to us. And of course, at this particular juncture, Lord Chaitanya wasn't manifesting his ecstatic love of God. He was still in the phase of a very arrogant young scholastic boy in Navadvip. He was going from different vendors to have them give him gifts for their benefit, but they were all great bliss with the service. So this is one example. And compared to what we consider advanced in society, Kulavecha Sridhar was a nobody, complete nobody. He had no money. His cloth was torn in different places. It's been sewed up with different stitches. He had no roof over his house. He had no followers, no money, no opulence. He was just simple. And Lord Chaitanya loved him so much, he would make excuses to come spend hours with him. So sometimes we think about have you heard of the trappings of a religious organization or a religious culture? So you have the trappings, they would say, like the rituals, your dress, the rituals, sort of the external culture, like that. So this can sometimes it can be a distraction, sometimes it can be an asset. It's not in and of itself that it's bad, but sometimes it can trick us too. Right? I'm in a devotional community. I'm wearing tilak, robes, tulsi mala, and I go through the program. So this is not the essence, but it's something that can support our Krishna consciousness. The dress can support Krishna consciousness. Like Sanatana Goswami, Lord Chaitanya, he didn't like that he had a very expensive chadar. And so he caught him glancing at the chadar, because he was in a renounced order of life. So to please the Lord, he gave this up in exchange for some tattered cloth. So this is an instance where the external can be used in the service of Krishna. So it just depends on the consciousness. But sometimes we can trick ourselves, so we need to ask us, why? It's okay, so we don't know, we may have come to Krishna consciousness for different reasons. We don't understand exactly how we got the mercy of the Lord through the pure devotee. But one thing we can ask ourselves is, why am I here now? This is a question we can ask ourselves. Why am I here today? Is my purpose today to fall in love with Krishna? To gain the Lord's favor through unmotivated service? Because we realize that in the Bhagavatam it says we can't actually be completely fulfilled until our service is unmotivated. So that's a really important question. Why am I here? Why am I here now? And in what instance would I give up my service? What attachment do I have to the service? And what would make me abandon my service? The gopis were willing to be chastised by their society because they approached Krishna. So in what instance are we willing to abandon our ideas about what's going to be fulfilling for spiritual life and actually to stay in the favor of Krishna through our service? So I'm going to pause here and see, do we have any discussion?
I like that because I didn't know the phrase Saragrahi. It's been kind of a meditation for me this week. And, a few weeks ago, learning that devotees are also could be Satyasara, which is like essentially, seeking the essence at all times. Someone who's kind of like an idol to me, but just in like the physical sense. He's like world's strongest man, six years in a row. He's like, he came from like nothing. Like he was just, asked to work at a gym so that he could also use the facility. And he became like this really wonderful person, because of his humble beginnings and stuff. But anyway, something that he said this week was, take everything, ask for nothing. So, and then earlier today I was listening listening to class and hearing like that, Srila Prabhupada was explaining to, I think another devotee named Srila, maybe not.
There's a God brother Prabhupada was named Sridhar.
Yeah.
Sridhar Maharaj.
I don't know, I probably heard it, but yeah, someone was like needing help in their service. Of course, Srila Prabhupada was like saying, don't leave the institution, don't leave. The morning program is so important. Like these certain things, like that ritualistic things, are like so important. But basically, because he's saying like, I'm giving you everything, like you need to take it. Like you just take this. This is the essence of it, so yeah, it just goes like back to what we really need, instead of being asking for so many other things and not really getting to the keeping the main thing.
Yeah, that's a really good point, and something I've been thinking about is, Prabhupada gave us a lot of prescriptions and a lot of different spiritual practices to do. But if you actually engage in those things, you actually can feel how they benefit your spiritual life. It's not that Prabhupada just gave us a bunch of things to do just to do so, right? Like, I'm just going to give you things to do to keep yourself busy. If you actually go to Mangalarti, if you wake up in the Brahma Muhurta time, if you have an experience doing that, you can actually see how you feel more Krishna conscious throughout the day. Like they say in Rath Yatra, Lord Jagannath is showering his mercy, in the Rath Yatra festival. And when you actually go to Rath Yatra, you can actually feel that. You can feel that bliss. So that's the amazing part of Krishna consciousness, is experiential. So maybe we're not at a point where we can take all the prescriptions Prabhupada gave. But the more that we can do, the more we're going to be benefited. Since you were talking about like the weightlifter at the gym, we may not be at a point where we can lift 1,000 pounds, but if we take steps and time, we can get there.
Yeah,
right?
Just sticking to this, like the morning program, sticking to associating, coming here and having discussion. Never shying away because you're staring at the little fish, on the side of the boat,
Yeah.
I think it creates like a really good steadiness, no matter what, is going on in our material life.
Yeah, we live in the age of distraction, right? So it's extremely easy to get distracted by almost anything. But of course, then we have all this media too to be absorbing Krishna consciousness at the same time.
Yeah, but like you said, like it could be used in Krishna service too. We just have to seek it out, like in the right way, the essence of it.
And if our heart becomes drawn to that, then naturally we're gonna take that, right? So that's what we're praying for. We're praying like Kunti Devi. She prayed, as the Ganges forever goes to the sea without deviation, let my love flow to you without being diverted to anyone else. So when that natural flow, we have that natural love that develops, then we're going to want to do these. We're going to want to engage in these practices, hearing, chanting, associating. These are the most powerful, hearing, chanting, associating with devotees. So, what do you think, Prabhu?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts or realizations on this topic?
I don't have anything else. But like I just want to correct that thing that the meaning is actually messenger.
Messenger.
I told the vehicle, but
But also like vessel, messenger.
vessel is same thing.
Agent.
It's a messenger?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a carrier.
Messenger on the water.
Messenger.
Jala is
Actually,
water.
for the Jaladuta, I think it's like for a vessel they wanted to say a Duta, but the real meaning of Duta is like a messenger who takes messages like
On the water, yeah.
Not on the water. The real meaning
Like an
is-
actual message.
Like
Like
you
an
could say
actual-
Vishnu Dutas are messengers
Yeah,
of Vishnu.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jala is water, though.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
It's a
But
delicate.
I think like water
Vessel.
messengers of it metaphorical.
vessels-
The meaning is that the vessel is a carrier of goods.
It's a
Yeah.
carrier. It's a
Yeah.
carrier.
Right.
So
Yeah, carrier.
that works. I think that works for the analogy, right?
Yeah.
The delicate, yeah.
They're like
You also
Vishnu
mentioned,
Duta.
Vishnu Dutta, yeah.
you mentioned saying like before you're getting on the job, leaving our old habits behind.
Mm.
I've heard Prabhupada say this, and it helps in context, because there's like so many, mistakes that like devotees can even make after initiation and things like that. I guess it's like how do you stay firm, even if you bring your old habits with you on accident, on ship.
I was thinking about that too, because when I was pulling, I went into a neighborhood, I went into a cul-de-sac, and I parked, and then when I turned my GPS back on, it didn't know where I was, so it was kind of like confused, and then once I started driving, then it corrected, and it said, okay, this is the right road. So I was thinking how this is a normal part of our spiritual practice to get back on track. Recalibrate. Like we started the trajectory, okay, from our heart we surrendered to the Guru, we started a spiritual practice. And then as we're traversing on this path, we've got to do check-ins with ourselves. Why am I here? Why am I here today? Am I here just, now I just belong, I'm in a community now. Or we really want to fall in love with Krishna.
Yeah.
We really want to serve Krishna. We're not here for those other distracting purposes. So I think that's something that we have to work on.
Yeah, and I think like it's normal, like we're all distracted, we're imperfect, everything endeavor is covered in faults. And I really like the Bhagavatam, Canto 10, verse 14a, where it says, maybe you know it, but my dear Lord, one who earnestly waits for you to bestow your cause of mercy upon him, all the while patiently suffering the reactions of his past misdeeds and offering you respectful obeisances with his heart, words, and body, is surely eligible for liberation, for it has become his rightful claim.
Yeah.
And it, Srila Hari actually comments on
And you have a commentary about
Yeah.
Sridhar Maharaj.
it. But, I mean, it goes
Sridhar
to
Maharaj was a close friend of Prabhupada. They were very
like, we
close.
have a rightful claim,
Mm.
for seeking the essence, like, it'll always be there if we have this patience in the suffering and like just, considering ourselves low and fallen,
Well, that's an act of deep love and a commitment when we go through difficulties. That's why I was also saying, in what state will we give up Krishna consciousness? In what instance will we give it up? Because if we go through all the difficulties in our life and we stick with Krishna, then as that beautiful prayer by Lord Brahma says, that liberation then becomes a natural consequence of that. So that's very powerful when no matter what we go through, say no matter if you embrace me, how's that prayer go by Lord Chaitanya? You handle me if you handle me roughly with your embrace, or make me brokenhearted by not being present before me, I'm still your eternal servant, regardless. But we just do that in life, because there's difficulties that are going to come just on the course of our existence, whatever karma from the past or Krishna karma. And if we just stick to our Krishna consciousness through that, that's a great act of love that will endear us to Krishna eternally. So Krishna will never forget that we endured these things and we still never gave him up.
Yeah, it's like also like, it's similar to biblical teachings, like any persecution you suffer in my name, because of me.
Yeah.
You gain so much, the kingdom of heaven.
Right. I think that's the Beatitudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
The kingdom of theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
And theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah. That's very similar. That's another aspect of keeping the main thing is not getting caught up in these religious trappings, like, just for the sake of separation. but for the sake of like what we're doing is actually to fall in love with God, fall in love with Krishna. You know,
So
we're not a sectarian cult that we think because we're part of an organization we're going to get liberation. No, Krishna's Bhavagrahi Janardana. He's accepting the essence of what we're offering, even if we're a nobody like Kulavecha Sridhar.
Yeah.
There's a nobody in society, but to Lord Chaitanya, he was everything. And he was just dying to get some time to spend with him.
I think that's like so special to be able to see Krishna in everyone. Like even when people are showing you like the good and the bad and the evil. Like, but if you, I mean, like you visit like someone who's seemingly like not so well, you know, materially situated, but I mean, that's really where you really see Krishna, and that's proven to you that he's like literally everywhere and he's everything and he's in everyone. Instead of being like, oh, this is my community, this is my, you know, the people I associate with.
Right.
I mean, it can be really difficult, I think, too, because you do have to come across a lot of different personalities. But ultimately, Krishna is there in every single one.
I mean, our community is very important in that we're together on this journey to attain love of God. So it's very significant in that sense, but not to the exclusion of other genuine practitioners. So, yeah.
Yeah, which I was amazed by when we went to the global temple place, like that they had like a cute altar with like the Baha'i, the Christian, you know, they had also, you know, the Gita was up there. And so I've never been to a place where it was like openly like, we're talking about everyone, you know, and that's why they called it the global temple.
Yeah.
But I thought that was refreshing.
The Lotus Temple in Yokaville, Virginia is also like that, if you ever get a chance to go.
Virginia?
Yeah,
What,
I'm from
what city is that? I was born in Virginia, but I am not.
Oh, so it's actually called the city is actually called Yokaville, but it's kind of on the way to like Charlottesville. Yeah, I think it's, yeah.
Okay.
So, sorry.
It's kind of like a global temple too, like that, like a Unitarian type.
Well, yeah. So they have like, it's a very beautiful temple. It's shaped like a lotus, and each kind of petal of the lotus has on the inside. It has like a light that comes down from the center, and it has like a different proverb from every like major religion and tradition at each petal. So it's a very cool place to walk around because, you know, you learn a lot about all different kinds of faith systems. And it's, I mean, the coolest thing about it is that you get to see all the connections, right, between, because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, Krishna talks about in the Gita that every single path is, you know, I'm at the center of them, but like everyone has the freedom to see me in whichever way that they would like to. But that's kind of the beauty in it.
Everyone follows my path in all respects. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. I think it's helpful for us to, you know, to share Krishna consciousness because of some trends towards a more open-minded approach.
Yeah.
And I think especially some past generations, it was a lot more closed off to other faiths and religions. So I think that's really beneficial.
Yeah.
Because, okay, is the video still on there?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have any further questions or discussions?
Yeah.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
No, they make us look.
Whoa, thank you.